and very knowledgeable about the topic. So Chad is actually an industry expert in cybersecurity. Evan is really like a rock star electrical and computer engineer. So it's just being with people who are really good that actually bring you up, and every day you're learning something new. Literally every minute you're learning something new. So that makes you like, you want to learn more, you get better at things you didn't know before. So I think that really helped. The other thing was, so my previous experience is I've always tried to start companies. So since my freshman year, I started to found this startup with my friend because a little bit of background story here. When I was applying to colleges, I applied without knowing what an SAT test meant. So I submitted my application, and then UCSB emailed me saying, hey, I mean the UC application emailed me saying, hey, we need your SAT scores. I had the guts to email back saying, hey, I'm sorry, but we don't do this here. We don't have SAT scores. Like, we just have the French baccalaureate. That's it. So they said, no, like, you actually do have SATs. Go look for it and send us the score. So I went to the American schools. We only have 2 in my city. And the earliest day that within the deadline they gave me that was possible was next week. So I only had like 5 days to prepare for the SATs, which is pretty crazy because I didn't speak English. I spoke French and Arabic my whole life. I had no idea, like, I mean, I learned English in school. It was 3 hours of English a week, not enough. And taking tests like that was super hard. So well, it was pretty insane to like do it in 5 days. We had no books to prepare. So that experience really marked, like, I was just very confused about what was going on, and the fact that I got a pretty decent score that got me into UCSB. I'm still amazed how that happened. I have no idea. So during my freshman year, I decided to start a company that actually helps with SAT preparation in Morocco. So with my other friend who went to school in New York, we used to he found some friends in New York that wanted to go to Morocco for vacation. So once they go, they teach the students in Morocco about SATs. So actually we pay them by just offering them like housing in Morocco. So that ended up going pretty well. We made some summer money, and he actually, that's what he does now full time. He graduated and just went back, and he's still doing that. So that's it. I really started with the idea of, I want to build my own company. So I was literally 18 when I was freshman, and I still wanted to do something. So that was my first experience with trying to build a company. I think that helped me to just wanting to do Allthenticate with Chad and Evan. And just my whole life, my environment have always been like, you can find some startup founder around me like at any point of my life. So I think that also helped me just always want to be like that. And I think that's really what's affected me.
Wow, that's definitely an amazing story. And I'd never heard that before, but really goes to show that entrepreneurship can come from the most random of circumstances.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing. Wow. So on that note, tell us a little bit about the process of post new venture competition for Allthenticate and how it's been sort of growing the company and what that process has looked like for you, also post-graduation, as those things sort of coincided.
Yeah, so we actually won the NVC in, I think, June 2019. And that summer, Chad was interning with IBM in New York, and I was working. I actually took on a job in town in Santa Barbara, and we knew that we're not gonna be full-time on the company until obviously Chad and Evan graduate, which was by July 2020. So we actually all had a plan that they will finish their degrees. I will be working on my job for a year while we're doing Allthenticate like on the side. And then once we're all done, I was gonna quit my job, which I did when the time came, and we'll just be all like full force on the company. So the plan that we had since last year ended up happening just like we wanted. I mean, COVID kind of made things different just because Evan and Chad were actually worked a lot more on it that it was planned, which so for the company, it's pretty good. It's good news. But so actually, when you look at it, like now that we moved into a new office last week, when you think about it, when we're doing the new venture competition, it's we had no idea that this would be happening so fast, that we would already have an office, like a big nice office, have now the team is 8 people, so we never thought we'll have 8 people within a year. So there's just so much happening so fast, and it's just amazing. So I remember my so the NVC, the whole purpose is just doing market validation. So we had 10 weeks for the TMP 149 class, 10 weeks to actually go and do interviews, customer interviews, and talk to real company owners and see what they think about our product. So CEO, CISOs, and like CIOs, and it was really like talking to the industry experts and telling them about our product. So I remember at that point, I didn't know much about cybersecurity. I was just, fake it until you make it, as they say. I was just like trying to like learn what Chad says and do like look up what it means on Google and use that word right away because I know now what it means. So it was just interviewing people, and at some point I had a really big like chief information security officer in like a really big company that had an interview with him, and he asked me some really technical questions. That was during the NVC, and I had no idea. Like I was just looking at him. I had no idea what he meant, and the whole interview was very technical. I was like, oh, I have to get back to you on this one, or I have to get back to you on that one too. So it was just so bad. I remember that day. So after that, I just told the team, I was like, hey, like I don't know what all these things mean. Can you like actually walk me through it? And maybe next time we'll do this together. So we actually manage these events. Like after this, we just either I'm not doing it by myself, or like I really understood the product a lot more. But yeah, since the new venture competition, I personally have learned so much since that time. And just for the company in general, there's so much happening. Like just the whole company changed. Like now we're a real company, while during the new venture competition, it was just 3 people in a little classroom trying to work on a pitch deck. Right now we're actually pitching to like really big VCs in the Bay Area, and having good conversations with big companies. So it's so fast. It changed really fast, but I'm sure there's a lot more.
Yeah, that's so exciting to hear, and congrats on all the success thus far, and I'm sure it will only continue. So what has been the most surprising aspect of your journey with Allthenticate, and then also getting into the cybersecurity world in general?
Yeah, good question. So the most surprising thing with Allthenticate, I would say just how much the people in the team know. It's just very very interesting. Every day I'm just surprised by how like the level of knowledge that each of them has and brings to the team. So I think this was really interesting, and I'm just really lucky to be working in a team like this. Also surprising how people trusted us, like, and I'm talking about like angel investors that really trusted us since the beginning. So that, yeah, like it's just great to see that people really like saw us pitching last year at the NVC where we had nothing, and were asking us, hey, can we invest? And then a year later they actually did end up investing. So it's just very interesting. Like these people have a really good eye, because at that point we didn't even know that this was going to happen, but they clearly knew that it was, I don't know, they had they're called investors for a reason, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So what has been your favorite thing that you've learned about cybersecurity thus far?
Yeah, favorite thing that I learned about cybersecurity is that this industry is getting bigger every day. So I feel like every day, like literally, like now with all the digitalization that we're having in 2020, and I'm sure there will be a lot more in the future, with all the fact that all our devices are getting smarter. So we're just creating so much data, and there's so much for hackers to attack. So we have to protect all these things. So there's so many things to protect every day. And so the industry is just gonna be always growing so much and so fast. So I think that's like, it's pretty amazing how things are growing, and just, I don't think we realize it enough.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And definitely for jobs as well and career opportunities, there's plenty to do out there. And for starting your own business as well, lots of opportunities. So on that note, any advice for those looking to enter the cybersecurity industry, or any advice for those who want to start their own cybersecurity business, or maybe a bit of both?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll answer both of them in order. So I think advice for people who want to get into cybersecurity, I'm not gonna speak about the technical aspect just because I'm not doing anything technical, but I'm sure there is, so companies that do cybersecurity have a lot of positions. So you can be a product manager, you can be quality assurance. So there's a lot of jobs for you to get in, and once you're in and you actually understand what the company is doing, you learn a lot about the industry, and then you might eventually want to try the technical work and start learning on your own, and then, you know, just start doing it, which I think maybe I'll do it one day. Right now I'm just too busy with the operations side of the company, and just really my head is in the bucket. But maybe once things are more comfortable, or maybe once we have enough people to take over some of the things I'm doing, maybe I would love to learn more about the technical side. I mean, so I think for other people, they could do that. That's an option. And I'm saying that is because we did a little CTF challenge a few weeks ago in the office. And I'm not any kind of computer scientist at all. Like, I just know very small coding languages that I learned from my math and stats classes, but very small level of knowledge. And I still like enjoyed solving that little CTF challenge. It's very, very small, very simple, but it just like put my adrenaline level pretty high. And I was like, whoa, I want to do more of these. Can we do more? So maybe eventually, like, I want to be learning more about the technical side. And so I think that's a good way to get into it. So try, like, just to test the waters before you like invest a lot of your time learning things that you're not sure you're gonna like. So I think that's a way to do it. And for starting your company in cybersecurity, I think a really important thing is to talk to industry experts, talk to other companies about, like, would they need it? Would they use it? So I think really asking people the right questions is going to be very, very valuable and very helpful.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, Rita. That wraps up all of the moderated questions that we had. But now we have some time for Q&A from anyone in the audience. So a couple ways we can do this. You can either unmute yourself and go ahead and ask your question, since we're a pretty small group, or you can send your question in the chat and I can ask it to Rita if you're more comfortable doing it that way. But yeah, any and all questions, now's the time.
Yeah.
Hey, I was wondering if you could maybe say more about the concept of Allthenticate, as in what kind of problem it's trying to solve more specifically.
Yeah, that's a great question. So thank you for asking that question. So Allthenticate is actually obviously a cybersecurity company. And what we do is trying to replace keys, smart cards, key fobs, passwords, anything that let you have access to your physical and digital assets in a company by our smartphone app. So this is our smart door reader. This is what it looks like. So you'll just Yeah, it's pretty small, and it just goes in the wall. And all you need to do is, so you know how if when you go to UCSB, you have your ID, your student ID, that you have to tap into like the doors to get in. So with Allthenticate, you'll just need to have the phone in your pocket, and it will unlock magically. In the case where that door is configured to be into like a magic mode, where you just need to have the phone around you, so it just detects the phone presence and it magically unlocks. But if it's, let's say, after hours, and your administrator wants more security, then you will need to either interact with the phone on the app, say yes or no, or you'll need to prove some kind of biometrics to your phone to like prove that you are yourself. So either fingerprints, Face ID, a 4-digit PIN, anything.
Thank you.
Of course.
Hi, Rita. I actually had a question for you. So I know that you said that you're not really into the tech side of cybersecurity, you're more in the administration. So what other positions are there in cybersecurity companies? And can you explain each of them so I just get like a little idea of what all of them are about, please?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think the simple way to think about it is it's just like any other company. So they also need a sales team. So for us, we still need someone that goes and talks to the customers like, hey, are you interested in this product? What do you currently use? What about this product? It's actually better, has better features. This is how our, like we have subscription model, no upfront cost, things like that. So a salesperson is needed even in a cybersecurity company. So that's one position. Another position would be a product manager. So, and I don't know if you're familiar with the role of a product manager, but basically, as a cybersecurity company, you still have to like push features, fix bugs. So you still have a lot of development happening. And the product manager's job is to actually pick and choose which projects we're going to be working on right now, which bugs to prioritize, and just write all the details and requirements for the developers so that they know how the like tasks are when they pick them up. So that's also a position that doesn't really require much technical work. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more positions, but these are just the main two that come into my mind.
Okay, so let's say, because I actually want to get into cybersecurity in the technical side of it, but also I'm down to just start off with something else in a cybersecurity company at least. Right out of graduation, after graduation from college, what do you recommend? Should I get a certification? Should I maybe just apply for another position in a cybersecurity company to get an idea of what it's about? What do you advise?
Yeah, did you mention your major or not? Because it kind of got.
Oh no, I didn't mention my major. I'm a communication major. It's not related to tech.
Yeah, so I think as a communication major, you could totally look into the PM path, like product management. And so before Allthenticate, I did work as a business analyst / PM at a tech company. So I actually, and sometimes like this position really requires a lot of different skills, but communication was a really big one where I was, I realized how like it's important because you're constantly explaining what the feature is about to developers who like you don't want to actually interact with them. You just want to make the information as clear as possible. So I think that would be like a degree in communication would I think would be great for that position. Or do you want to get into the technical side of it?
Yeah, I wanted to get like certifications and try to maybe go into hacking, but let's see, that's too far off of a thing to think about right now.
Yeah, so I think just like internet is a good place to start. So just looking up how other people got there without having a computer science degree. And actually there was a lot of people like that. I was actually I think there is some people who even make videos and talk about it. And so I think there are a lot of people who get there without essentially having a degree. So it's possible, it's definitely possible. I personally haven't gotten to the technical side, so I can't give you any, I can't tell you what I did because I've never done it, but I know it's possible. I know everything, like you can self-teach yourself. Yeah, you can teach yourself a lot of skills that are needed for a technical role, I believe.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
You said like you did like a bit of like the interview process and like or like looking at new applicants. So like I'm like a CS major, but I feel like there's like cybersecurity is like very different from what I've learned so far. So I was wondering like what sort of like courses or like accomplishments you guys look for, or do you guys kind of just like as long as you have a foundation, like you just learn on the job?
Yeah, great question. So just to clarify, the interviews I was speaking about were customers interviews. So like while you're discovering what the market, what you're doing, your market product fit, and actually talking to people. So that's kind of different than the interview for candidates. But I also done some of those because obviously we were hiring here, and we're always hiring at Allthenticate. So I think that's a great question. I think computer science has a lot of different applications. So cybersecurity is just one part of it. But I think for us, for Allthenticate, we always want someone who's passionate about security. So at least have done some research and knows a little bit about how passwords work. So I think that's the first question that we would love a candidate to answer. How does a password work? So once they walk us through that, we're like, oh, this person actually kind of knows cybersecurity. And so I think if you really want to get into it, you should kind of do it on your own and look for what kind of skills you need, or like what, like, I don't know how the UCSB computer science department works, but there's probably some classes that are specific to security and cybersecurity. So if those classes are on a resume, we know, oh, this person actually did some kind of work on cybersecurity, so like they kind of know. And so yeah, these are the main things. But so for us also, because we have an app and we have an admin portal, when we're hiring, we also want someone who has experience in the things we need. So not necessarily, so let's say like app development, then yes, we actually need someone because we're building an app and so on. So you can have just specific skills that we're looking for, and you totally would be a great fit for the company. So it doesn't have to be security, like a security PhD, otherwise you can't get in. Like obviously it's a lot more simple. It's more simple than that.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have questions? Because I have another one, but you guys could go ahead. Good. Okay. So Rita, 2 questions actually. First, since I'm more into like the tech cybersecurity side, what positions do you have for interns open? And yeah. Second question is, where are you guys located? Like your actual physical office?
Yeah, great question. I'll answer the office one first. So we're all located right next to the airport at UCSB. So we actually just moved in. Before that, we're in front of Target in that plaza. So now we're really close to UCSB and really close to the airport. So in Goleta, like they call it the Goleta Funk Zone. So that's where we're located. And the open positions that we have right now are winter internship. So we're trying to get interns for every quarter. I think most of the positions that we have for now are technical, because the non-technical one was taken for it's like we would be marketing, and we already have a marketing person. So for the technical ones, it actually goes by projects. So so we're looking for a project, like we want something that could be done in 10 weeks. And I don't know exactly what's the winter ones yet, just because we haven't started interviewing, and my two other co-founders would know exactly what they need, because since they're doing the technical work, so they actually know which project is going next. Yeah, I don't have it in the top of my head, but yeah, I can tell you later if
Yeah, it would be great if you can drop your email down in the chat box.
Yeah,
I'll definitely contact you.
Yeah, I'll just send that right now. It's Rita@Allthenticate.net. But yeah, I'll just send it in the chat. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on the website, because we're always welcoming interns, and we love UCSB students. So yeah.
Yay.
Sweet. So a lot of exciting things. Good to hear. For anyone who's looking for an internship, Allthenticate might be the company you want to work for. So definitely feel free to contact Rita and check out their website. It's allthenticate.com?
Net.
.net, okay.
He's asking for way too much money.
True.
And he's not doing anything with the website.
So that's the website. Feel free to check it out.
Yes.
And does anyone have any more questions for Rita before we wrap up? We have time, so no pressure.
Yeah, I don't mind asking another question. I love asking questions. So when you say projects, I know you said your co-founders know more about the tech side, but what do you mean by projects? Do we as interviewees come in and share a project idea, or do you guys have projects that are already prepared and you want us to work on them? How does that work?
Yeah, so we actually have projects that we want to get done. So we get interns that would be a great fit for that project, so actually have the skills for them. But at the same time, we also want the interns to get a value out of the internship. It has to be two ways value. So we also want them to want to work on this project. We want to see them that they're excited about this thing, and then we obviously make it work. But yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last call. Yeah, go for it.
I was just curious how the whole remote work situation has been going and how that would happen with the internships.
Yeah, great question. So back in April, when did spring quarter start? In April, right? Or yeah, I think
spring
April.
quarter, yeah, April.
Yeah. So at that point, we had a new intern that was just starting in April, and we've never seen him in person. Maybe they did, but I actually hadn't seen him in person until he joined. And so he was doing it remote from San Francisco the whole time. But then when school was over and I quit my job, and in July, and Chad and Evan graduated, we just decided to all be in person in the office. And that's what we've been doing. We were only 6 people at that time, so no major risks. And and once that same person who ended up extending his internship to another quarter, it's actually 2 more quarters because he's still with us. And I think he also loves being in person, and we actually love having everyone in person. We have a very strong company culture where we have lunch together every day, and sometimes we also have dinner together every day. Like today, they're actually all in the conference room watching this, and waiting for me to join them and eat pizza together. So we just love our team and being all physically together. We're fortunate to not have any major risks, and I think this office is big enough to have everyone's little space. But yeah. We've been doing it in person since summer.
Awesome, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for asking.
So I guess kind of.
Go ahead, Caitlin.
How big is the company right now? And it's pretty close, but just the general culture and stuff.
Yeah, we're 8 people. And yeah, we're pretty close with each other. We have we do a lot of outing, like we did kayaking, I think, last month. I even forced everyone to do Zumba. Not everyone showed up, but we did a Zumba class. I think this month we're doing a go-kart and paintball, some really cool event that one of us shared, but that's going to be this month's event. Before COVID, we did an escape room. So yeah, we're really trying to have one major event every month, and we have a really great culture here where everyone is very fun. Whenever we do something cool, we have a hype button in the middle that we have to hit. So everyone is happy. We even have a snack culture where we really love chocolate covered almonds. So yeah, I think it's a great place to work and intern, and it's just been really great to be part of the company and actually make it see it grow.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So last call. Any final questions for Rita before we wrap things up for the night? Okie dokie. So with that, thank you so much, excuse me, Rita, for coming and joining us for this really great event. Definitely learned a lot about entrepreneurship and innovation and your fascinating story, and always good to hear from you. So thank you again. And yeah, just a little bit about women in cybersecurity. So we're having our first welcome session of fall quarter for this school year on Wednesday next week. So Wednesday, October 14th, 6 p.m. And you can drop your email in the chat if you want to be contacted about that. Or you can reach out to us. Our email, I will put it in the chat now, is security-wisis@ucsb.edu. And I'll leave that open so y'all can send us an email if you're interested. But yeah, we do a lot of cool events similar to this one where we hear from amazing speakers like Rita and prominent women in the cybersecurity space with the aim of increasing women's presence in cybersecurity. About, I think, 25% of the cybersecurity workforce is women, and that number has been growing. It used to be abysmal, like 12 or 14% just a couple years ago, but it still needs to grow more. So yeah, if you're interested in cybersecurity at all as a career path, on the technical end, the non-technical end, the entrepreneurship and starting your own business like Rita here, definitely Women in Cybersecurity is a good group for you to be a part of. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for coming.
Thank you, Rima. And I just want to thank everyone who asked questions and everyone who showed up. Thank you for your questions. And if you have any questions, please email me, check out our website. Yeah, just thank you for being here and making this conversation so diverse. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you again, Rita.
Thank you.
Amazing. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a good night. And I'll leave the room open for just a bit for anyone who wants to get that email or Rita's email or anything. All right. Cool. Yay, how'd that go, y'all?
I like that. it felt like it was easy to talk to her for trying to just ask questions. It didn't feel like it was, you know, like formal, like, oh, I need to.
Yeah, I mean, she's basically our age.
True.
So, yeah,
True.
she's not super intimidating, but it's nice sometimes to have a nice little intimate environment. And I think, like, if it were in person, it would also not feel intimidating. So it's nice when the virtual can simulate that. But yeah, found some new people joined, so that's exciting. And by the way, we've seen some people filling out the interest form. So
Nice.
That's good. Yay.
yay, exciting. Thanks for coming and sharing good questions, y'all. Those were some good questions. And if you're interested in interning for Allthenticate, wink, wink, I'm sure that, like, you know, since now you've met the COO of the company, that definitely helps. And if you are interested in that and you want me to, like, plug you at all, because I've been talking to Rita for a while, I'm really happy to do that. So yeah, putting that out there.
I'm looking.
Also, how do you get that background, the Women in Cybersecurity logo in the back?
I'll send it to you. Jasleen made it. So this is what we're gonna use when we make the little informational videos. You can just set it as your Zoom background, and then oh shit, I should stop recording this actually.